kebaya are taken from around the house and inspiration from designs like a canvas sleeve and scrolls. Or peonies that represent beauty and honor, favored by the Nonias. More peonies and birds in springtime. The hen and the rooster are symbols of fidelity and fertility, and so do not be surprised if you find them on someone's kebaya. Phoenix with a beautiful display of its tail feathers. Here are pillows and pillow lace on the wedding bed. The silk covers of the pillow lay and the bedspread are made of gold couching. They are gold threads that are couched over with cotton threads to hold them down and secure them. So here is a fantastic design of a phoenix and a peony, which is typical symbol of the Baba Nonias. And so besides the gold couching, like this, see how it's couched with red threads. So if the thread is of different colors, then it actually gives a different effect to the embroidery work. Then we also have satin stitches. Satin stitches are made from silk threads, so they are really fine and gives a beautiful sheen. Now this is an unusual one with hangings for the bed that has auspicious meaning, and these are in chain stitch. Chinese embroidery work is found aplenty in Baba Nonia homes, and the stitches used back then are the satin stitch, which makes use of the silken threads or silk threads, which gives a beautiful sheen. And there's also gold thread, which is done in couching. That means the gold thread is laid out on the fabric, and a cotton thread, it can be in different colors, are couched over to secure and hold down the gold threads, so they form designs. Another one is picking knots. So little knots are done, like French knots, little knots are done to create even gradation of colors and peony or orchids. And another stitch that was very closely linked to the picking knots is the chain stitch. So the designs were the favorites of Nonias or with the Chinese inspiration. Then later, when with European influence, they had baskets and madams taking their little dogs for a walk, Magi's riding camels for a Christmas theme, Hawaiian ladies, flamenco dancers. Then from the east are geishas and motifs from the beautiful vases and wood carvings like the birds of the four seasons and important flowers with symbolism like the peony, the cherry blossoms. And so they created the designs, and we can see then the influence or the aesthetics that is displayed, the aesthetics of the Baba Nonia, particularly the Nonias, that were displayed on the kebayas as well as the kasut manet. Here are two more kebayas. This one is very nice pastel color. And look at how fine the karawang is. Whereas this one is of another design, the karawang. Interest to the embroidery, Kerawang is done. Kerawang is open cut work, and it is a cutting of the piece of cloth. You embroider around the section that you want to cut. Then you cut off a little section and then start to pull the thread across like a web to hold the opening fabric, the cut open fabric together so that it doesn't gape. And then you just embroider across to form patterns and designs. They can be simple spiderweb kind of designs, or then others with lots of other interesting variations. There is also another category of sarong kebayas. There is also another category of kebaya, and that's the kebaya tuaha. So kebaya tuaha is worn when the nonyas are in mourning over the passing of a great-grandmother or great-grandfather or parents. And the first year they will wear all black, including the sarongs. And then the second year they will move on to blue. In the third year of mourning, they can then change to or add green to the colors. And at the end of it, perhaps a little purple before they come out of mourning after 3 long years. And so we shall kebaya tuaha. It is blue, so it means that this is probably worn for the second year of mourning and matched with the blue sarong. The nonyas are attired in blue for the second year of mourning. So everything is in blue, and so this one is for the second year. Beautiful biku on an equally textured fabric. And from second year, then they move on to the third year where they will wear green for another whole year. And again, it's very simple. I love the fabric. It's so beautifully checkered with simple biku designs, and biku just around the edges for the sleeves and the front opening. European designs came to be popular and featured, and so we have daisies and I suppose irises. Earlier baju panjangs were made from batik, which is normally earthy tones, red tones. So they were batik with block prints and repetitive geometric designs with many flowers in between. They were consistent and printed throughout. So then later, of course, with the arrival of the Europeans and colonialism and trade, we had beautiful organdies and laces and royals. Now the baju panjang then became shorter, and it became the baju pendek or baju rendah or renda. So that time, the Dutch ladies were finding it very hot and humid in the tropical weather, living near the equator, and so they had made for themselves white blouses that is made up of Dutch laces. So these were European laces, and they were like layered or crisscross and mix-match into a comfortable blouse, loose blouse that is a little shorter than the baju panjang. Here is a portrait of Madam Chia Giok Kiat, mother of Lim Kek Chuan, the founder of the Chinese Chamber of Commerce, and here she is in her baju panjang. Now, the first wife of Lim Kek Chuan is also wearing a baju, and she is Madame O Ki Neo, born on the 3rd of July 1859, and third daughter of Fu Tai Sin, and she married the very famous and well-known Lim Kek Chuan, and she was his first wife. Madame O Jim Neo is the second wife of Lim Kek Chuan, also in baju panjang. And Madame Ong Chiao Bi, the third wife of Lim Kek Chuan. All the ladies are in baju panjang, and here is Mr. Lim Kek Chuan himself, the founder of the Chinese Chamber of Commerce. To start on sulaman or sulam for the kebaya, first you choose the designs, and it can be inspiration from like the wooden carvings, popular motifs of love, fidelity, and feminine symbols. And then after you decided on your design, you will then make a draft of them, draw out the design, and then firm up that drawing. After this, you find a tracing paper and you trace over the design. Now, because this tracing paper is then going to go on top of the foil or your piece of fabric, and you will then make an imprint of that design for one part of the front, or even the whole lapels and collar. And then, without having to do a second drawing, you can actually then reverse it. So one side the pattern is here, and then for the other side just reverse it and trace again onto the piece of cloth with the tracing paper and a colored backing paper to give the imprint on the fabric. Then you get to choose the wonderful colors that you want, whether it's muted. Well, back in those days, kebayas were more muted and subtle. The colors were subtle. I even liked pastels. But today, they have become very vibrant and brilliant colors. So the earlier DMC threads are the best quality. They give a beautiful sheen, and they are lasting, and the colors are lasting too. But today, we have polyester threads for the sulam, and they actually give a very nice shine, so it gives a nice tonality to the piece of finished work. So after you have a design, then you will need to put your fabric into a hoop, and this hoop is wooden. It is 2 concentric rings. You put a bigger ring outside and a smaller ring inside, and then you press them on a flat surface to make sure that they fit very well. And if they're not tight enough, there is a tightening device here that you can tighten, because in order to have beautiful sulam handiwork, you need to pull this very tightly. It has to be very stretched, very taut across the surface, so that the needle and the thread doesn't pull up the fabric when you design, when you do your machining, your embroidery work machining. Then the stitches will be uneven and loose and unsightly, so you pull it very tight. Now, there are occasions when you have to sew the edge of a kebaya, and there is not enough fabric. So what you do is called sampor, where you actually add another piece of fabric, a different fabric, and you just add it on to extend the whole piece, so that you can have enough room to maneuver your designs. Otherwise, it's too cut. If this is the edge, then there is no way that you can fit the ring in or fit the fabric to cover the whole ring. And in a case like this, then the embroidery work will not turn out beautiful, because the most important is to have your fabric stretch taut across this wooden frame. Now today we use the electric machine for this embroidery work, but I do prefer to use the old one, which is a pedal machine, so I can then control the speed better to go with the designs. So here is a piece of work with the colors are vibrant with Karawang. That is another interesting design from Karawang, which is and of course we have a whole collection of beautiful embroidery threads, but of good quality, because such a piece of art is wasted if you use any thread that will not last, or the colors will not stay for a long time. I may add colors to my design after deciding on the colors that I wanted, so that I can see how it looks like. So for now, I will go for an exotic color. Well, maybe this one is better.
Nama diberi, dipanggil awang nama timangan. Abdurrahman, nama diberi, dipanggil awang nama timangan. Bapak kemerdekaan yang disanjungi, semangat berjuang oi menjadi ingatan. Semangat berjuang oi menjadi ingatan.